This week's episode is brought to you by Capital Financial Advisory Group for all your retirement needs.
Broadcasting from coast to coast, it's the Financial Safari with your host, Coach Pete DeRuda. You'll hear from some of the nation's top financial professionals. So stick around and find out how to make it through the jungle of the financial world, right here on the Financial Safari.
Coming up on the Financial Safari, Parker talks about personalized retirement plans. Then we'll head to the radio studio to discuss advance and protect strategies. Leanne discusses women's involvement in finances. And then Marty will explain what the bond yield curve is. But first, from the TV studio, Coach Pete DeRuda and Chuck Kaiton.
Welcome into the Financial Safari. I'm Chuck Kaiton along with Coach Pete DeRuda, and we have another exciting program for you today. And we are going to do a little time traveling, I think. Coach, first of all, I know you travel quite a bit out to Las Vegas and other places where you do speaking engagements. That must thrill you, huh?
Oh, it's fun to travel, Chuck, but then it's no fun to travel. You know, it gets old after a while. It gets old real quick. But it's exciting. You know, it's always fun to go somewhere. It's no fun to come back.
No, I understand that. And it's also, you know, it's the travel part that can become a hassle, I think, sometimes. Because sometimes like retirement planning for some, because people are confused whether or not they should take maybe the bus or a car or an airplane. But here we're going to talk a little bit about the retirement railroad.
Yeah.
Now, you've coined that phrase. What do you mean by that?
Well, thinking about travel, though, Chuck, what we do with everybody we meet with is we get in our financial and retirement time machine and we go forward 20, 30, 40, 50 years, say, what's your life going to look like? What is your life going to look like at that time? And what are you going to need? What are you going to want? And then we look at what you have money-wise and we try to make sure that money equals what you want to do. That's the hardest part right there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And we talk about, once we get in the time machine and come back to today, we go in the future, then come back and say, here's your future, here's what you want to do. Then we get in the time machine, come back and say, let's design a plan. And I like to say, let's do the railroad plan. And if you watch trains, you see the trains on the tracks. It's not just one locomotive and a caboose, there's a bunch of different cars in between.
Absolutely.
And every train's different. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's some trains that were the same, but there could be hundreds of cars or there could be 10 cars. Mm-hmm. And the caboose is the end. So you want to make sure when you get to the caboose that you've had a good retirement and everything's fine. So the important thing is making sure you have enough locomotives pulling your plan all the way through retirement. And as you're working, you're basically making money and putting money away, hopefully. Every single 100,000 or so you put aside is another locomotive. So how many locomotives you need on your train to pull your wants, needs, and desires all the way through retirement? And what if that hill comes up you didn't know was going to be there? And Chuck, a lot of times it's not the hills that get people in trouble. It's the valleys. More people die on the way down from Mount Everest. They get all excited. They climb Mount Everest. They wish they could text all their friends, but there's no cell service up there probably. So they say, as soon as I get down, I'm going to tell everybody. And so on the way down, they're taking selfies and they fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful on the way down into retirement, not just on the way to retirement, but once you get to retirement, making sure you have that proper plan. And we spend a lot of time with folks just like you out there putting together that proper plan. And every single plan is different. Every single plan has different cars on that train. And of course, Chuck, my kind of plan would be one with as many locomotives as you can get in there and making sure they all have enough fuel to go forever every single year. These locomotives we talk about are the old steam engines. Every single year you pull up and there's that magic water fountain there that pumps the steam engine full of water and fills the engine back up with coal.
Yeah, I'd like to think of it as another analogy, too, when you talk about the engine and the caboose and those box cars in between.
Oh, yeah.
Say you've got those box cars full, and one thing you don't want to lose is some of that cargo when you're going downhill, and that's what I would think is analogous to your Advance and Protect program.
Well, the derailments. We see the trains fall off the track, and coming down let's say you're coming into retirement, and maybe you're spending money too fast. And your cars fall off the track. You can't get it back on track. So maybe you're not on the right track. That's what I spend a lot of time doing for folks is saying, hey, you think you're going over here, but you're really going over there. Let's get you back on the track you're supposed to be. And they said, well, Coach, I didn't realize it. Because it's hard to, when you're on a train, it's hard to figure out where you're really going. Right. If you're in a helicopter looking down to the train or a satellite looking down, you see where they're going. So retirement planning, Chuck, and financial planning is all about looking at the road you're on or the track you're on right now and making sure it's going to get you to the destination you thought or you were told it was going to get to. And unfortunately, we see a lot of mistakes out there.
Well, that's right. And when you talk about adding that extra water to make the steam go, you want to make sure you get all the way. If you're going to go to Denver from here or Los Angeles from here, you don't want to fall short.
No, and again, you don't want to run out of fuel when you need it the most. And that's why we put together a proper income plan, not only for today or tomorrow or a couple years in retirement, but all the way through retirement. Give you that total security account where you never have to worry about where the money's coming from. Financial fill-up strategy each and every year. You get money added to your accounts to make sure to propel you all the way through retirement. If you're interested in finding out about what that could be for you, all you have to do is call the number Chuck's going to give you.
Absolutely, and that number is 888-910-8265. That's 888-910-8265, or you can always text. Of course, in this day and age, that's always a good opportunity and option. Text BREEZE to 21,000. That's BREEZE to 21000.
And Chuck, I've got my hardcover book, The 7 Baby Steps. This is a bestseller on Amazon. It's been out for about 5 years now. People love this book because it breaks down retirement planning into 7 easy steps. We can help educate you behind the scenes on that. We'll give you a golden ticket to make sure you get your very own retirement plan that's customized for you. We talk about that customization, having a true customized report. And then I've got this report from Boston College, Managing Your Money in Retirement. Very important to make sure that our money is there when we need it the most. I'm going to give that to you, as well as that consultation. The next 10 people who call with at least $200,000, let's design your very own plan.
Absolutely. And remember that number again. It's 888-910-8265. That's 888-910-8265, or text BREEZE to 21,000. That's BREEZE to 21000. For Coach Pete, I'm Chuck Kaiton. We're going to have more here on the Financial Safari in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Greg, and I proudly serve the Wilmington community for Capital Financial. If you're concerned about your tax positions on your retirement plan and your strategies, then you need to give us a call right now, because we're going to put together a plan and a strategy designed just for you to mitigate the tax issues that you're facing right now. So give us a call and we'll be happy to put together a one-page plan that's easy to understand and comprehend.
Call 888-910-8265, 888-910-8265, or text BREEZE to 21,000. That's BREEZE to 21,000.
Hey, welcome in. It's Planning with Parker. Parker Holland is here. Hey, Parker, how's it going?
It's good to be here, Steve.
Yeah, so this is going to be a fun segment because we talk about various things and ways to put a retirement plan together. You've been doing that for a while now, and pretty creatively as well. And so let's just kind of start at the beginning. And what's the first step in terms of just making that plan work? How do we have to look at things differently?
Well, the first step, of course, first and foremost, is getting to know the individual or family we're talking to. Too many people come in and they think there's like a cookie cutter strategy that solves all problems. There's not. And that's what I love about being here with Capital with Coach, is there is no cookie cutter strategy or approach. We talk to the individuals, we get to know them, their goals, their objectives, what they need to do a true total retirement income plan. And we just need to make sure that they understand exactly what they want, what needs to happen, if there's any red flags or problems to address, and how to do it. And just knowing that there's options out there without having to feel pigeonholed like you're doing the same thing that everyone else has to do, or if you're doing something or you can't do something because the amount you have saved or something of that sort.
So what you're saying is just because your neighbor does something doesn't mean that's what you should do.
Exactly. And it's kind of, I don't know if it's the following the flock strategy or how it comes. There's not just 3 different ways that money can work for you in retirement. There's 3,000 different ways it can work. And we just need to make sure, based on what's needed for you, your goals, your objectives, exactly what's best and how it works.
And because Capital Financial is an independent firm, you've got the universe of choices.
Exactly. We're not handcuffed to anybody. We don't answer to any overhead or institution. We can do whatever is best for our clients or whatever they need. And we look at big picture. I mean, we look at the estate planning, tax, investments, insurance, healthcare, all the moving parts.
And then you're also fiduciary, and that's really critical.
I mean, I'm independently licensed. Capital as a whole is a completely conflict-free fiduciary firm. So we're able to do what's best, like you said earlier, of the total financial arena. And also, we have to disclose to you everything. Whether you ask it or not, you have to know.
And so, I mean, it's no secret. You get paid.
Exactly.
And you put that down in front of a potential client. This is what you're being charged. This is what your fees are. This is
correct. Correct. And the difference is being how we're paid, fee only, fee based, it doesn't matter. It's whatever's best for that client, and it's based on what we're doing. So it's not that if we don't do anything, we're charging the same as if we did everything. It is molded for the individual.
That's perfect.
And that there's skin in the game. It's the best way to know what's working for you is we both have skin in the game.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Planning with Parker, we will continue in just a couple of minutes. Don't forget, give us a call.
Steve, I think the reason why a lot of people are spending a lot more is because they're looking at their 401k balances and they're higher.
Sure.
So therefore, they're spending other money because they feel that their 401k can take care of them. The only problem there is most 401ks do not have the advance and protect strategy built into them. Thomas, explain to everybody, if you can, what the advance and protect strategy is.
Absolutely. I love it. This is something that I've learned from you, Coach.
Good job, Thomas.
No, it's true, though. It's a great concept because oftentimes we want, as savers, as me saving, I want to be able to advance my money as much as I can, but I don't necessarily want to deal with the losses in the market, and they can be quite tragic.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about is being able to gain some of that and lock in those gains as opposed to having to really, leave your money to the whims of the market. Am I right there?
Judges? Yes, you
All
are.
right.
Awesome. Love it.
All right.
No, the advance and protect just means that your gains that you get aren't going to get lost next year or
There you
next
go.
day
Yeah.
or whenever.
Yeah.
You basically advance and protect. So you draw that line in the sand, and you never have to worry about losing what you've built. Contrast that to stock market balances. Look at the year 2000. Look at the year 2007. People had these gigantic balances. They were spending a lot of money outside of their balances because they said, hey, I got a big balance over here. It's growing. I can spend some of my other money over here on things I really shouldn't be buying. Disposable income is higher in my mind because I have a higher balance in my retirement account. But keep in mind, we say you are not up until you're out. So people didn't liquidate their balances or didn't convert their stocks into cash or whatever. So they did not employ the advance and protect strategy. So the market went the other way. People lost 20, 30, 40, even 50% of their retirement money. Steve, I think this could happen again if people aren't careful. And people are buying a lot more stuff than they really need right now, too, aren't they?
Absolutely. And I think that, isn't this history repeating itself? I mean, don't we learn?
Really. I
Deja
know.
vu all over again,
All
like
over
Yogi Bear
again,
would
yeah.
say.
Want to hear more? Head on over to financialsafari.tv or follow the Financial Safari on your favorite podcast app for new shows every week. Take advantage of meeting with a professional who will create a one-page financial review that will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan. Take the mystery out of financial planning by mapping out where you are now. Call 888-910-8265, 888-910-8265, or text BREEZE to 21,000. That's BREEZE to 21,000.
Hello again, everyone. It's time for Women in Money here with Leanne DiMartino, who is an income analyst with Capital Financial. And we always have your best interest in mind, whether it's retirement planning, but this is specifically geared to women, Leanne. And let's talk a little bit now about women who want to have their husbands do the financial work, have all the bills paid, know what's going on financially, because it's a busy world for women today. They want to be good mothers. Even if they're working mothers, whether they're stay-at-home mothers, they've got a lot of different responsibilities with their kids. So please explain that even though you have those responsibilities, you still should keep an eye on family finances.
Yes, I think a lot of women do rely on their spouse to do the financial planning, even for that piece of retirement. But they do at least need to be involved. They need to know what's going on Yes, it is easy for us as busy women to say, you take that piece, but they need to be knowledgeable as far as what is actually going on with the finances.
All right, so let's create that scenario then. Maybe you should have a monthly meeting about what's going on, possibly. If you have a 401k, say you're a stay-at-home mom, like my wife was, and she really says, well, you're handling that end of it. I'm handling taking the kids to hockey practice or baseball or any other activities. I'm cooking for Thanksgiving or Christmas and doing those kinds of things, and the typical stay-at-home mom. But keeping an eye on the finances are still important. So would you advocate maybe getting together almost kind of like a clubhouse meeting or something once every week, or maybe a date night where you talk about finances?
I like that idea. Yeah,
do it.
Yeah, a date night with finances. So that would be perfect. But at least you're together and you're talking about things. You have an idea. It's just being involved. Be knowledgeable. Know about where your finances are.
Now, do you find that most women want to do that when you meet with them, or do they say, you know what, as long as he's telling me everything's okay, I'm okay?
No, yeah, I definitely encourage them know where it may be okay, but you need to know where everything is.
Absolutely. And it's got to be written down, doesn't it?
Yes, that's why we also offer what is called a little green book of life. So you know exactly where everything is, and it's all written down. It's in one little book for you.
And here's something else. Now that Leanne has brought it out, we have a box set that can tell you all you want to know about retirement. Now, what would be included in this box set?
It's going to be some videos, a booklet that we have put together that kind of follows the videos, just giving knowledge is power. So just giving these women some knowledge.
Okay, so this is what you can get when you come and visit Leanne over at Capital Financial, because she specializes as a woman in knowing what you should know in your financial family situation, because it is very, very important. So that's Leanne DiMartino. This is Women in Money. I'm Chuck Kaiton, and well, we will be back with more after this.
Talk to one of our local experts. We have a special offer for you on today's show. Call in the next 30 minutes and we'll custom design for you an easy to understand financial review. It'll indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan. There's no obligation or cost for this initial review for all callers who have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. If you meet these qualifications, here's what you can expect. First, we'll run a fee report to help you understand what it's costing you to work with your current planner or advisor. We'll show you how to protect your investments and keep more of your money in your accounts. Next, we'll perform a tax analysis to show you how you could possibly be reducing your taxes and increasing your cash flow. And finally, we'll create a customized lifetime income plan using proven strategies and techniques that could turbocharge your retirement income. In short, we'll take the guesswork out of financial planning for you. So for all who call in the next 30 minutes, a comprehensive financial review that we're offering with no obligation. Just call the number below right now.
Now it's time on the Financial Safari for Money with Marty. I'm Chuck Kaiton, and we're going to try to educate you on your planning for retirement and in the days prior if you're in that financial red zone. Now, Marty, we talk a lot about low interest rates. We've seen them come down recently. So how does that really affect people that are approaching retirement or in retirement?
That's a great question, Chuck. Many of the prospects that we talk to and our existing clients are already in retirement. They speak a lot about, Marty, I see a lot about low interest rates and how does that affect me? Even a few months ago, there was a lot in the news made about the bond yield curve inverting. And we had a lot of folks that were like, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, we'd like to know. I mean, anytime you think about inverting something, you're thinking negatively.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically what that meant was, very simply speaking, is that when the bond yield curve inverts, that basically means shorter term bonds are paying a higher interest rate than longer term bonds.
That seems weird, doesn't it?
It's very weird. It's like going in and buying a 1-year CD at your local bank and it paying a higher interest rate than a 3 or 4 or 5-year CD. It just doesn't make any sense. But where it really affects folks in retirement are, number one, is that the rates of return on CDs and fixed income type products are very, very low. Quite honestly, right now, a 10-year Treasury is paying almost 1.5%. With inflation over 3%, that's very, very difficult to keep pace with inflation if your interest is only making about half of that. So that makes it very, very difficult. The other thing is, and it really affects folks that are in retirement, is that the last stock market correction we had was in 2008. So when folks are going, gosh, I'm a little nervous about the market, maybe it's time to put money into bonds or bond funds. The problem with that is that interest rates at some point will start to go up. When interest rates go up, bond prices go down.
And you can really never predict that kind of thing, even though we kind of are living on borrowed time when it comes to that correction.
That's absolutely right. So if you have folks that are worried about the risk and they're moving out of a traditional brokerage account, which is a risk type of account, a lot of times these folks are moving into bond and bond funds without truly knowing the risk that is associated with what they think is a safe place to invest money. So if you have money in bonds, or you have money in bond funds, and you would really like to know the answer to how much risk I'm personally taking with these bond and bond funds, then you need to reach out to a financial advisory firm like Capital Financial, a fiduciary firm that will put your best interest first at all times, and we'll give you some great information about how those bond and bond funds truly work.
Well, that's tremendous information, and Marty hit it right on the head. They are true fiduciaries at Capital Financial who have your best interests in mind. Marty, this has been fantastically educational. This has been Money with Marty Hensley. I'm Chuck Kaiton for the Financial Safari.
Hi. You're probably wondering why I'm standing here next to an old-time gas pump. Hi, my name is Greg Berrien, and I serve the Wilmington community for Capital Financial. Here at Capital Financial, we believe in setting up a plan that's going to provide you with a true financial fill-up, just like you fill up your car at the gas station when you need it. So it's always going to be there month after month after year. So if you want to take advantage of the financial fill-up and meet with a professional who will create a one-page financial review that will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan, then give us a call right now and take the mystery out of financial planning.
Call 888-910-8265, 888-910-8265, or text BREEZE to 21,000. That's BREEZE to 21,000.
And we return to the Financial Safari. I'm Chuck Kaiton. There's Coach Pete.
Chuck, this has been a fast show this week, and it's been a very informative. I've been learning a lot of information from all our other guests this week.
Well, if you're learning, you know that I'm learning too. Because
put it this way, I've been interested. My interest has not waned. I haven't picked my cell phone up one time except to see what time it was.
Excellent, because that's something, that really kind of bothers me, and I think it bothers a lot of people, and I know my generation, because, I follow the current events. I follow the National Football League. I love college football, I'll have to say that. And I don't want to alienate anybody by telling you what my allegiance is, but let's put it this way. It's not an ACC school. It's somewhere in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But I know that you love football.
Football's fun.
And you love football analogies, and there are a lot of them that can be applied to retirement planning. When you talk about driving down the field, you're at the 50, you're down to the 40, you're down to the 35, down to the 30, and then once you get to the 20-yard line, what's that called? Well, it's the red zone, right?
And I used to announce football. You were a broadcaster.
I did.
Did you call it the red zone back then, or is that a new term?
No, that's actually a relatively new term.
I was wondering when that term became...
Probably in the last 15 or 20 years, and of course I go back a little bit further than that.
But what did you call it when you were... I know you broadcasted Michigan and Wisconsin.
Exactly. So, I started with Bo Schembechler, so...
Let's say Michigan was playing Wisconsin, and Michigan's driving down the field. They get to the 19. They're driving in. What do you call it?
Well, we would say that would be the area of concern. This is what Bo Schembechler used to say. Yep. He said that you cannot have a turnover in that area of concern within the 20-yard line to the goal line.
I kind of like the area of concern, because when we call it a financial red zone, that's what we mean. We have an area of concern as we get older. We want to protect our money more. We do some stupid things with our money growing up to try to make more money, and a lot of times we lose it. But when we get to 52 and above, we are in the area of concern, the financial red zone. We have to protect that money more. Rocky Blyer, friend of mine, used to do a radio show with him in Pittsburgh. He always said, Coach, the most important thing Chuck Noll always told us is hold on to that ball with two hands when we get close to the red zone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he calls it a red zone now, but I don't know what they call it. I don't know. I forgot to ask him what Chuck Noll called it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Area concern is a good way to
Area
call
concern
it.
was what Bo used to call it, and he said, listen, and boy, those grunt days in the Big Ten, Coach, you never threw the ball. He said, I don't like passing. I like giving it to the fullback because 2 out of 3 things when you throw the ball can go wrong. It'll either be an incomplete pass or an interception. So I'm going to run it down the opponent's throat. And I think you can do that in retirement, too, if you do it smartly.
I remember Wisconsin's offensive linemen a couple years ago, they called those guys corn-fed guys. They were each one was 350 or more, 350 pounds, and they're like 6'6". Those are giant guys.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, a big player back in my day was about 240 pounds. We thought a lineman 240, 250, but now they go well over
People have
300
grown
pounds.
bigger and bigger, which is hard to understand because candy bars are getting smaller and smaller.
I know. You always like that analogy. I know. But it is so true. And that brings us to another point. Inflation. You can't let that eat into your retirement.
Yeah. So financial red zone, folks, if you're 52 and above, I really think you owe it to yourself and your family to make sure that you're in the right place. And how do you know what the right place is? I understand this because, Chuck, I talk to people every day. Coach, what are we supposed to do? Our advisor says we're fine. We got this lump sum. It's growing. But I say, well, where's your income plan? And they give me this look like, they always say a deer in the headlights. Chuck, I've never seen a deer in the headlights, and I don't ever want to.
That's right. But unless it's going away from you.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see it at all. So I think the deer's looking at you.
Yeah, that's right.
So they give me a look like they don't know what I'm talking about, or they don't know what I'm talking about. You know, they're confused. So here it is easily, folks. If you don't have a plan in place that says at any age you choose, you get a certain amount of income that can never go away for the rest of your life that's secure, protected, and it's growing when you don't need it, you really don't have a true retirement plan. So if you don't know or are curious, or you have a nice lump sum, but you want to figure out what that lump sum could be for a lifetime income at your choosing, on your terms, whatever age you want, well, I have a lot of people that can retire a lot sooner than they ever thought with a lot more money coming in to their mailbox each and every year when they get their real retirement plan. So if you want a real retirement plan, folks, no cost or obligation. Chuck, many charge over $1,000 for this, but we're going to waive our planning fee. We're going to sit down with you and educate you on true retirement planning, not just financial planning. Everyone has a financial plan. Not many people have a retirement plan. Also give you a 3-book set of 3 of the 8 books I've written, as well as my box set, the 401k Survival Box Set. It's got a workbook, guidebook, DVD in there, and even worksheets to help educate you on what you're really supposed to be doing with that 401k. Give that number out, Chuck.
All right, we have 888-910-8265. That's 888-910-8265. And you can also text. This is the age of texting. You can text BREEZE to 21,000. That's BREEZE to 21000.
Got an extra bonus today. I put this book together last year. Attorneys love this. Clients love this. This is 100 pages called The Little Green Book of Life. It's 100 interactive pages where you fill out information so that if you pass away and haven't told people what you want to happen or where your money is, they've got a treasure map now to find out what's really going on. This is invaluable. I think everyone needs a copy of this.
Absolutely. And again, that number is 888-910-8265, 888-910-8265, or text BREEZE to 21,000. That's BREEZE to 21,000. It's been a fast-moving show. For Coach Pete, I'm Chuck Kaiton. Join us again next week for the Financial Safari.
Stay out of that red zone.